Lee, you were saying you had a ceremony outside?
No, we had a signing in the gym for all us seniors.
Yeah.
And they didn't turn the AC on until about halfway through.
And that gym is, without air conditioning, no.
Yeah, it's incorrectly named the Snow Dome.
Yes.
One last practical joke on you before you leave Garces. Just wait to turn the AC on in the 100-degree heat.
Why didn't you just move it to the pool? It's right next door.
That's what you should have done. No. So Garces will obviously be a part of the league championship Saturday at BC as well. And it's kind of cool this year, I think, to include the SSL coach in this, because not that they have a team that necessarily is hugely deep, but just to throw in the swimmers they have at Wasco, Bakersfield Christian, and Shafter and Taft and everything. This will be a really high-level meet on Saturday.
Oh, 100%. They actually have really good competition between Wasco and on Bakersfield Christian that ends up making our kids more competitive, amongst all the teams. There's a lot of club swimmers at every high school right now that is making it go back and forth in the events themselves. So it's great competition for the kids to pursue their valley cuts.
And you look across the board, in each event, that final heat has some incredible times and a lot that are really close to that automatic qualifying for state already. Lee, for you, how exciting are you to kind of jump into this and get this postseason started?
I was kind of scared starting the season. I took a lot of time off for water polo and focusing on kind of that. So when I got in, I was really out of condition. At my club, I swim with Julio and Colin Rabinall and all the fast kids that were on first team last year, and it was hard getting kind of back into it. But I think I've kind of closed the gap a little bit, and I'll just give it my best try, see how it goes.
Talk about that for a second, Lee, because water polo, it seems like you have to be in great shape to do that. I would think tremendous shape to be able to tread water and do the things you guys have to do, but it's a different kind of shape, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of different movement. You have your egg beater, that's more breaststroke based, and obviously if anyone's seen my breaststroke, it's just the most atrocious thing in the world. I'm strictly a freestyler. Sometimes I can do some backstroke. I swim on the relay, and but yeah, it's just kind of a different shape. As much water polo as you can play, you can still go into a swim practice and be like, oh gosh, I can't hold my pace time for 200 or whatnot.
Right.
So it's just kind of different.
Eric, he says his breaststroke is atrocious. Have you seen it? What animal does he most represent as he's breaststroking?
Is it
frog.
Shrek in the water?
A frog.
That's not too bad, though. Frogs can swim a little bit. That's not, I would be like...
yeah, but that'd be big body, short arms.
That's true. I'd be like an octopus, I think, arms flying everywhere,
That's a little bit more.
Is that accurate? Yeah. Eric, how about you? How are you looking forward to this weekend?
I'm looking forward to some good competition so I can make my times better. And I don't know. It's
time
fun.
to challenge yourself.
It's fun to race against a lot of faster swimmers because it makes your times that much better, and it just kind of drives you to. You need to I got to beat this guy next to me.
Yeah, it definitely pushes you. We see it in swimming, we see it in track, we see it in a lot of sports where to kind of feel like you're being chased almost, or you are doing the chasing makes you go a little bit faster. Coach, part of the show where I like you to kind of brag on the guys you chose to bring in. What makes Eric and Lee special to you?
Well, first off, Lee is one of our top point scorers for the team. He's always trying to pursue and get first place in the events that I put him in. They're both very versatile in the fact that I can say, hey, I need you to swim this today and go beat this time. And they're both going to go out there and give it 110%. And I don't have to really worry about them not trying. Lee specifically in the distance, he's been doing great this year. We threw him in backstroke a couple meets and ended up first time doing it, getting his valley cut. Shows you what kind of athlete he is. Throw Eric into one of the races this last week, and I said, hey, I need you to drop some time on it. And he dropped 3 seconds and got his fastest 100 free time ever that he's ever had. And so really exciting that I can go up to both of them and said, hey, I need you to go do this. And they're going to put it all on the table.
I'm going to call you out on it, Lee. You said you were strictly a freestyler, man. You got a valley cut in the backstroke now? How'd that happen?
Backstroke's not that much different from freestyle. It's just upside down.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I couldn't do it, but Go ahead, Trevor.
Jessica, across the board, I think swimming teams are the largest for the public high schools in town. You're talking about 90, 100, 120 kids out there in the pool every day. You have 29 on your varsity, total 13 on the boys' side. How have you been able to create this team and get these guys to the top of the league like you guys have?
You know, we've been working really hard since January. I mean, every team has. I have a couple that are going out and doing club year round, so that kind of helps a little bit. Everyone's just been really enthusiastic. Me being an on-campus coach and teacher really has a big impact. I mean, we have a great admin behind us that is encouraging the kids. With us having that small school of only 550 kids compared to some of these other public high schools, it's really exciting to, even though I have like such a small group, it's just all that motivation, just keeping them in and working hard.
Eric, do you notice the difference when you guys go into a dual meet and there's 100 kids coming off from Centennial, Liberty, or Frontier, and there's 29 of you guys?
It's a little bit intimidating, but I know that we have a great varsity team, and we'll be able to take them.
Leah, has that turned you guys more into, and I think maybe for the simple fact that you're the only one in Bakersfield that has a water polo team, and you guys transfer that over, how much of a family aspect is this team?
I think it's a big family aspect, not only just because of the size of our school, but we've all kind of known each other. We've played water polo, swim. We've done it since we were let's say 5 years old, and so we've all kind of grown together and played together. And I think that's just it really brings the team together, and it makes it a lot harder for us to lose.
What are the goals over the next month for you guys? Not just league. Do you have making it to state in mind? Is there an event where you feel like you can compete in the Valley? I mean, obviously the Valley is a very high-level meet. Lee, start with you. What are your sort of goals over the next 3 weeks?
Well, right now, I think our medley relay actually has a really good shot at putting up some points, maybe even at Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes. And then my individuals, I'm probably going to swim the 2 and the 5 like I usually do. In league and Valley, I'll try to compete in Valley, or in league here. We have, obviously really fast swimmers here. We all topped it Valley last year, so it'll be rough. And then Valley, I'll see how it goes. Maybe if I make state, that'd be great. If I don't, then I just turn right around and focus on water polo and then get back into the pool for swim too. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you look at these leagues, especially when you combine all of them, if you can win a league title, be right there for Valley too. There's just more swimmers at that level once you get to Valley, but the time certainly will be there. Eric, how about you? What are your goals over the next 3 weeks here?
I'm excited about swimming my 200 IM. I have almost last year in Valley my fastest time already, and I'm not tapered yet, and I still have to shave and all that stuff. So I'm excited that I'm going to drop a lot of time on that event.
How do you do tapering? Just explain to people, Coach. I mean, and I know every swimmer is going to be a little bit different, but is there a science to it? Is it more of an art as far as when to back off hard training?
It kind of depends. I have right now in the water at practice, I have 3 different groups going. I have the ones that aren't really that close to making their Valley cut, so they're more so focusing on league being their last meet. I have some that are maybe a second or 2 seconds max off, so I kind of have them doing a little bit, and then I have the ones tapering for Valley. Cutting back the yards, girls no shaving, it gets kind of gross, but
Don't think about that. Yeah.
They start wearing leggings, and even the boys, they'll throw tights on, they'll wear shirts in the water just to kind of add that extra drag. And then when it comes time for their ending meet, they'll wear a speed suit or a fast skin.
Yeah. So that it's kind of like putting one of those heavy donuts on your bat and swinging in baseball or softball, and then all of a sudden you take it off and the bat feels lighter. Give me a training technique that you maybe had never used before that you're using this month to help you taper.
I think actually when I go out to club practice, kind of have an agreement with my coach, and I'll swim out at club and then I'll go to the practice for high school before the meet. And but I think training with Julio and Colin Rabanal and Chance Miller and all those fast kids, that kind of really is what sets us apart. And just competing every single day in the pool, practice day in, day out, and that it builds that mentality, to try to beat the fastest kids. And then when you get to those higher level meets, you've already beaten the fastest kids. So now all you got to do is just win.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eric, how about you? Anything in particular you're doing differently this year to prepare for big meets?
Not necessarily. I mean, I like to. I'm very competitive. I like to race against like even my teammates during practice. To say like, I did better than you in that. But yeah. Right before the meets, you work 110%. You go harder just so that it makes it easier during the meet.
Now, will you shave your head too?
I did that last year, but I'm not going to do that this
You got
year.
a cap, so it's not that big a deal.
He's got some good-looking hair, man. You
That's
don't
what I was
wanna
going to
shave that
say.
off.
You hate to give that up.
Yeah. I think swimming and track and field, especially because of the same time frame, but I think it's like, Lee, what you were talking about, where you train with these same kids day in and day out, that, you know, once you go up against them and the competition is over, you guys are all very kind of congratulatory of each other, especially in a city like this, because it's not that big, so you guys are in the same training facilities all the time. You enjoy that fact that, you know, again, we talk about how, you know, 500,000 people, but still Bakersfield's quite small in that aspect.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's kind of like discerning because you go up to the Clovis and you just see a pool deck full of people lined up with the blocks, and you're like, all right, there's not even like warm-up space in the pool because there's so many kids on their team. But I think, you know, quantity doesn't always mean quality, of course, and I think that the level of swimmers that we have here is good enough to compete with anyone they have up there and, you know, beat them.
Chip on your shoulder, guys. I mean, you come from Trevor's mentioned a small program, and Clovis West has this basically an Olympic facility. I mean, does that sort of make you feel like the underdog, Eric?
A little bit, but I am used to swimming in big pools like that from club and stuff like that, so it's not as intimidating.
Do you foster that attitude at all, Coach? I mean, to say, hey, we're the little guys, but we're going to be, you know, David and Goliath type feel?
Yeah, and that's from all the schools in town. I mean, there's, like I said earlier, good swimmers at every school.
At least y'all have a pool, right? I mean, a lot of these schools don't have pools.
And, I mean, all these kids, there's certain kids in their main prime event that they have a really good chance at placing at Valley with at least within the top 8, if not top 3, amongst every school in Bakersfield. And that says a lot coming from such a small community here and then going up to Clovis.
Yeah. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys coming in. We wish you the best of luck, not only this weekend, but the weekends to come. The big, it's crunch time in swimming. It's coming fast. It's here. So Lee Begin, Eric Klang, and Coach Jessica Pavletich of Garces Swimming, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. And when we come back, we are going to have our first representatives of the U.S. Army All-Star Bowl, the All-Star indoor football game coming next week to Rabobank Arena. We will touch on that when we come back here on BVarsity Live.